The Lady in Red. The Velvet Dove nightclub buzzed with life, a haven of glittering lights and sultry jazz. At the heart of it all was Denise Monroe, the club's dazzling star, known to all as the Lady in Red. To the patrons, she was a superstar. To her colleagues, she was an enigma. But to someone, she was a threat. The night of the tragedy began like any other. The Velvet Dove hummed with life. Couples danced cheek to cheek, smoke curled from cigars, and glasses clinked in rhythm with the upbeat jazz band. Denise took the stage at 8 o'clock, her voice pouring over the crowd like honey laced with arsenic. Men leaned forward, captivated by her every move, and women watched with a mixture of admiration and envy. By 9 o'clock, Denise had disappeared from the spotlight. It wasn't unusual for her to slip away to her dressing room after a performance, but when the next set began without her, murmurs rippled through the audience. 10 minutes later, a piercing scream erupted from backstage. Detective James Garcia was summoned to the scene within the hour. A man accustomed to grim discoveries, even he was taken aback by the sight that greeted him. Denise lay sprawled on the floor of her dressing room, her scarlet gown stark against the pale, lifeless complexion of her skin. A shattered mirror reflected fragments of her once glamorous image. Her throat bore faint marks, suggesting strangulation, but no other signs of struggle were evident. Garcia's first instinct was to interview the club's employees. The nightclub's owner, Frank DeMarco, was a burly man with a perpetual scowl. He claimed Denise was the heart of the Velvet Dove, and her death was not only a personal loss, but a financial disaster. Everyone loved her, he insisted, though his trembling hands told another story. Next was Marcy Blaine, Denise's understudy, who had spent years in Denise's shadow. Her alibi was shaky. She claimed to have been powdering her nose in the ladies' room, but no one could confirm it. "She had everything," Marcy muttered, her voice tinged with bitterness. The fame, the money, the men, maybe it was too much for her. Then there was Charlie Reynolds, the club's pianist, who'd shared a secret romance with Denise. His hands shook as he played a mournful tune on the grand piano. She was planning to leave, he confessed to Garcia, his voice heavy with guilt. Said she'd had enough of this place and DeMarco's control, but she wouldn't say where she was going. Maybe someone didn't want her to leave. Garcia's investigation turned up another peculiar clue. A half-burned note in Denise's dressing room. The jagged edges revealed enough to send a shiver down his spine. "If you leave, you won't—" The rest was scorched beyond recognition. The autopsy confirmed Denise had been strangled. However, traces of a rare perfume clung to her skin, a scent familiar to Garcia from his days investigating high-society crimes. He questioned the staff until his persistence unearthed a surprising detail. Marcy had been wearing the same fragrance the night of the murder. Cornered, Marcy broke down under Garcia's interrogation. "I didn't mean to do it," she sobbed. "I just wanted to scare her, make her stay. If she left, I'd never get my chance on that stage. But she laughed at me, said I could never be her. I lost control." Marcy's confession seemed to close the case, but Garcia's instincts nagged at him. The note's threatening tone and Denise's decision to leave suggested a deeper motive. Days later, he received the final piece of the puzzle from an unexpected source: the club's janitor. While cleaning Denise's dressing room, he had discovered a hidden drawer containing a ledger filled with incriminating evidence against DeMarco, proof of embezzlement and connections to organized crime. DeMarco, realizing Denise had uncovered his secrets, had enlisted Marcy's jealousy as a pawn. He had goaded her into confronting Denise, knowing it could lead to violence. Marcy's outburst provided the perfect cover for DeMarco to ensure Denise's silence forever. With this revelation, Garcia orchestrated a sting operation, catching DeMarco in the act of destroying evidence. The nightclub owner's arrest sent shockwaves through the city, and Marcy's reduced sentence reflected her manipulated role in the crime. The Velvet Dove shuttered its doors soon after, its glittering facade forever tarnished. But the legend of the Lady in Red lived on, her voice immortalized in records spun in shadowy corners. For Detective Garcia, the case was a reminder of the darkness that often lurks behind the brightest lights.